I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. I tell you that.
All right, that's what he said about a year ago. Joining us right now, former nominee for Secretary of Labor, former Chief Executive Officer of CKE Restaurants, and member of the Job Creators Network, Andy Puzder, joins us from Nashville. Andy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning, Steve, Ainsley.
All right, so we're only about 105 days into the administration, but is President Trump the best jobs creator?
Well, he's really done a very spectacular job in that respect. If you look at the unemployment rate numbers for February, for example, or for March, we created 472,000 more people were employed, 326,000 fewer people were unemployed, 200,000 fewer people had part-time jobs, which means he's creating full-time jobs. And the labor participation rate didn't go down, and the unemployment rate did. So, you know, the first 2 months have been very good. We didn't have a great job creation number in March, but every other number was wonderful. So he's done a very good job so far.
But Andy, why is growth been so small? What was it, 0.7%? How does that make sense? Maybe from your level, you could break it down for us.
Well, you have to remember, when in the comparable report for President Obama in March of or in April of 2009 was negative GDP growth of 6.1%. Now, nobody blamed President Obama for that, and they shouldn't have. That was a carryover from the Bush era. The same thing with President Trump. This 0.7% isn't his number. This is a carryover from the prior administration. By the end of the first quarter, he'd only been in office for 80 days. He wasn't even in office for the whole first quarter. So we really need to get capital investment going. That's what's holding this back. Capital investment and consumer spending were down. Capital investment will go up if we can pass a tax plan that encourages capital investment, which is exactly what the president's proposed. And consumer spending will go up if we can get more money in consumers' hands. Our tax plan does that, and we need to reform, repeal and replace or reform Obamacare, because the increase in premiums is going to take money out of consumers' hands. So he's doing what he needs to do to get economic growth going, but it's not going to happen in the first 80 to 100 days.
Yeah, but Andy, you know that regarding the health care plan, the president's, his hands are tied. He can only do so much because up on Capitol Hill, you've got a number of Republicans, and right now they don't have the votes to pass it. Yep. So it looks like they might bring it up again, and it might get hooted down again.
Well, look, Republicans better come together and learn how to govern, because they've been making promises to the American people for 7 years. If they can't get it together and govern, we're going to see a big change in the House in 2018. I'm very supportive of Republicans, but I'm very disappointed that we can't come. Look, back when Obamacare was passed, you don't think Joe Manchin and Bernie Sanders actually both thought that was the best possible plan that you could come up with to reform health care? They didn't, but they did understand that this was the plan they had. They came together as a team. They both voted for it. Republicans need to come together. We need to get a bill passed, and we need to unify so that we can govern.
Or it'll be Speaker Pelosi.
I'm sorry?
Or it'll be Speaker Pelosi.
Or it'll be Speaker Pelosi, exactly.
And Chuck Schumer. Well, the president did say we brought lawmakers together from both sides, talking about the budget bill, from both sides of the aisle, to deliver a budget that funds the rebuilding of the United States military, makes historic investments in border security, and goes on and on about the good things that happen in this bill. But then if you listen to the Democrats, they're saying this is a bad thing for the Republicans. We got everything that we wanted. So we're the winners here, and they're the losers.
Look, when you go into a deal as a business person, let's say there's 4 things you're negotiating for, point A, B, C, and D. You really want point C and D, which in this case would be military spending, an increase in military spending, and money for border security. But you argue like heck for point A and B because you want the other side to feel like they left a winner. That's exactly what happened here. The president got a deal done, which the Democrats didn't want, to show that Republicans couldn't govern. He got an increase in military spending. The lowest number I've heard for the increase is $15 billion. And he got it without any increase to domestic spending, which was the requirement during Obama's years. And he got at least $12 billion to secure the border. So he got a lot. He got exactly what he wanted. And people ignored the fact that he reduced funding for the EPA by $81 million. It's back to 2009 levels.
That's right.
They took 150 government programs.
But Andy, you shouldn't be saying that. They should have said that yesterday or the day before. It shouldn't be Andy Puzder on Fox and Friends at 8:37 Eastern. But real quick, why are you against raising the minimum wage? As a restaurant guy, that may be, and if the working class helped put President Trump in office, is he working against the working class by working against the minimum wage increase?
You know, I'm really glad you asked that, because during this confirmation process, my position on that was really distorted. For the last 2 years, I've been trying to get the International Franchise Association and the National Restaurant Association behind an increase to the minimum wage. We should increase it, but we shouldn't increase it past the point where it destroys entry-level jobs.
Right.
Working-class Americans need entry-level jobs. Now, we can increase it, but if you're talking about $15 an hour, that'll kill a lot of jobs. The Congressional Budget Office said that an increase to $10.10 an hour would kill about 500,000 jobs. Just imagine what happens at 15. So we should increase it. Working-class Americans do need a raise, but not to the point where we're taking jobs away from them to try and make it look like we're doing something political, which is exactly what the Democrats are trying to do. The president should increase it, the Fed should increase it, states should increase it, but not to the point where we hurt the people we're trying to help.
Excellent point, and that's the business you would know. Andy, thank you very much for joining us today from Nashville.
Great to
Thank
be
you,
here.
Andy.
Thank you.
All right.